Welcome to Motherhood and Homemaking. Today I'm going to take you guys along for a homeschool day in the life. My name is Heaven and I'm a mama of two, a 6-year-old boy named Noah J and an 11-month-old baby girl named Nevaeh. It has definitely been such a blessing to be able to stay home with them and homeschool them, and it's definitely been a journey, one that we learn as we go. I love sharing that with you guys so that if you too are a homeschool family or you are maybe even considering homeschool, then this might help you, give you some motivation or encouragement, because I believe as mamas we know best what our children need and we're the best person to teach them. And so today I just want to share what an unhurried homeschool day looks like for us, because I know a lot of people have fears when it comes to homeschool about not being able to do it or not having enough time to do it. And I just want to share this to show you guys that it doesn't have to be difficult. Now, every day does not always look the same for us, but that is just homeschool. You can be flexible with it. And as you can see here, I have a baby girl now, and when she's not fighting me and detesting eating her breakfast, sometimes she might be screaming, or sometimes she might be crying, she may be sleepy, she may need a diaper change, all of the things, but nevertheless we still have to homeschool a big brother. So on this day we had a slow morning like we usually do. I recently shared what our peaceful and gentle morning routine looks like, so if you guys want to see what the day possibly looked like, it's just before we got into our homeschool lessons. I will link that video for you guys, but basically we normally have a slow wake with no alarm. I think that's like the most peaceful for me personally way to wake up. It's just with the morning's light. Sometimes I like to go to sleep with the blinds and the curtains open so that I can just be woken up with God's beautiful sunrise, and that's for me the most peaceful way to wake up. So I highly encourage you to do that too, unless of course you got to sleep really late, and it's very much important and crucial that your littles get that full 8 to 12 hours of sleep depending on their age. Baby girl, she typically could sleep 10 to 12 hours, while my son, he typically would sleep 8 to 10 hours, just depending on how old they are. So I think that sleep is definitely also very important. It's definitely going to help you to be able to get through your days a little bit easier when your little ones have had the necessary sleep that they need. It's going to help homeschool as well, because their brain is going to be working better after they've gotten breakfast and everything. So what you just saw was me feeding baby girl her lunch. Actually, we typically have a breakfast together and we take a walk around outside, and we kind of just have like a slow morning. And then once we complete our morning routines, we spend a little bit of time together. We then get into homeschool somewhere about midday, the afternoon, the busy hours. That's normally the time where you definitely will not have me out like running errands or anything right in the middle of the day when everyone's out running errands. It's typically the hottest parts of the day, so playing outside is normally like best done in the cooler parts of the day, like early in the afternoon or morning, or late afternoon, maybe around 3 to 4 o'clock. So during those really hot hours of the day and those busy moments is when homeschool is good. It gives my son some time to, just relax and chill. And one of the beautiful parts about homeschooling in spring and summer is we can go outside, and as you can see, my son grabbed a bunch of leaves off the tree when I was out doing a little bit of gardening. We spent some time out. He grabbed some leaves and he wanted to use it to create, some artwork. So he spent a little bit of time doing his book work. He was working on some math lessons, because we have completely finished up our language arts curriculum with the good and the beautiful, and now we've moved on to just finishing up our math, which at the time that you guys are seeing this video, we have finished it up. He just had like a few more lessons to do, so he did his math, and once he finished up his math, and that typically, depending on what our day entails, takes about 30 to 90 minutes. So when we're doing our full curriculum with language arts and reading and spelling and math, all of the stuff, it normally could take, like I said, anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. But because we were just finishing up math, that only took us about 30 minutes, which then gave him some time to be able to do some artwork. So here he's just like being creative with his leaves. He's gonna glue them to the paper, make a beautiful tree. You guys are gonna see later he's going to add some flowers, and he's going to do some painting and everything. And so while he's doing this, I'm just there, with him, and I'm walking him through it, and I'm teaching him any of the, lessons that he doesn't understand. Basically, it's more so like a supervision type of thing at this point, because once we get further in our curriculum, he typically can get through some of those lessons without me having to tell him what to do, especially now that he's reading. He can sometimes even read the instructions and directions. So towards the end of the curriculum, a lot of it is normally just like reiteration and review. Sometimes I will put baby girl down, but we still have a little bit of baby proofing to do. It's okay, but it's definitely not perfect. So sometimes I'll carry her. It really just depends on how she's feeling. So just a back and forth of either carrying her or placing her on the floor to play, sometimes in the swing, although I think she's at the point now where she does not like the swing. She would love the swing outside. In my mind, it's the same concept, but she does not like the indoor swings anymore, so I gotta put that one away. And yeah, so I kind of just move around with her, and that's because right now she's sleepy. She's been up since morning. She's had breakfast, she's had lunch, and it's about this time that she normally takes a nap. Now, sometimes I will put her down for a nap while my son is working on his schoolwork, and then while she's asleep, we'll finish up some schoolwork. But this time around, I kind of wanted to make sure that once she was napping, I had a little bit of quiet and me time, because I had a little bit of things to finish up around the home, which you guys are going to see. I still need to get dinner prepared, do some cleaning, and all of the sorts. So it was imperative that I kept her up while I was, still doing homeschool, so that when I put her down for a nap, I can move on to getting everything else done. If you are a homeschool parent, I just highly recommend that you just don't overthink it, and don't be afraid to be flexible and take those breaks when needed. That is just so important. We typically do homeschool year round. Sometimes we'll take like a week off, and sometimes we'll take a few weeks off for like Christmas or vacation in springtime. Doing school year round helps us to be able to stay on track and not feel like we're left behind or catching up or anything. So that way, if we want to take a break, if someone gets sick, or for instance, when I first had my baby girl, we just had a little bit more time in those in-betweens, because life is just unpredictable. So if we're not taking a full 4 months off in the summertime, and instead we're taking a few like weeks off here and there, then we don't have to just rush through homeschool every day. We can just go at a slow pace. If we only have time to do 15 minutes of homeschool one day, then 15 minutes is just fine. We're not going to be behind. So that's just the way that we like to do it. I don't like to be on a tight-knit schedule. I prefer to do a little bit each day with the weekends off, and leave some space in there for the unknown, for God's plan for our day as well. And then in the summertime, it's even more flexible, because we spend a lot more time outdoors, especially because we live up north where it's pretty much cold 6 to 7 months of the year. So in the summertime, we make it a little more flexible, where we typically are only doing about a 30-minute lesson every day in the summertime, not taking a full break, just shortening those lessons up so that we can spend some time learning outdoors, which I think is just a part of homeschool as well. So whether you can look at it as we're doing 30-minute lessons, or you can look at it as still a full day of homeschool, because I believe that even if you're learning outdoors or in the kitchen or even like tidying the home, it's still all homeschool. And that's the beauty of homeschool. It's not supposed to look the same as like traditional or public schooling. As you guys can see, I've moved on to preparing dinner for the day. I'm making some mixed vegetables with a little bit of sauce. I believe this was like a mix up of like a sweet and tangy type of sauce. Like, it kind of tastes a little bit like soy sauce, but it has a lot less sodium content, and it kind of just came inside of the package with these frozen vegetables. They didn't include any frozen like green beans or anything, so later you guys will see that I decided to add some green beans, especially because when cooking this, it shrunk down a lot and just didn't have much of a portion size, and we all eat these vegetables, even baby girls. So I just wanted to make sure that we had a lot more vegetables on our plate than anything else. So I am going to add some green beans to the mixture, but in the pot to the right of me, I'm actually preparing baby girl's dinner, and that dinner should last her about 3 to 4 days. I'm just making her some boneless organic chicken thighs, and I'm boiling that up with some shredded carrots. And once that's done, I'm just going to drain it, put it in a blender, and shred it up, so she'll have chicken and carrots for dinner today, and I'll put some away in the fridge or freezer for her to have the next few days as well. So that is how I'm prepping baby girl's food. We like to make all of her baby foods from scratch ever since she began solids, and not only is it healthier, but it's also more affordable, and it's really not that difficult. They can, pretty much eat a lot of what we eat as long as it's healthy and as long as it's either pureed when they're first starting out, and as they get older they can move on to like soft foods, soft like finger foods or shredded meats and things like that. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you haven't tried it, just try it out, making your baby's food from scratch. Like I said, it's easy, it's affordable, and just with everything, like I say, just as long as we're not overthinking it, it's possible. And with God, everything is possible anyway. So anything that you're on the fence about and it's something that you want to do for your family, whether it's switching to healthier meals or more sustainable living or homeschooling, being a stay-at-home mom, I just encourage you to pray about it and let God know the desires of your heart. And if it is in His will and if it's good for your family, I believe that God will help you through that. He will walk you through that journey in life. So I am making these vegetables with a side of baked chicken legs, something so easy and simple to make. I just cleaned the chicken legs and I got them from Whole Foods organic and cleaned them, put them in the oven, and I just put a few different seasonings on them. I believe I put some hickory barbecue, some sweet and smoky barbecue seasoning, and one more, I think it was like a honey barbecue seasoning by Jack Daniels, and I just seasoned those up and tossed them in the oven and drizzled a little bit of honey barbecue sauce, just a teeny bit, and put them in the oven for 45 minutes at 400 degrees, half with the foil, half without the foil. I'm just going to also cut up a bed of potatoes. They're starting to go bad, so I needed to hurry up and cook them, so I decided to go ahead and chop a few sweet potatoes and mix them in with a few yellow potatoes, so it'll just be like a potato blend. I'm gonna put those in the oven and let those finish cooking as well with the chicken, and that is going to be our dinner for the day. Typically, sometimes if my son is not like outside playing or doing his evening routine, which is cleaning his room and things, which is what he's doing right now. He's doing his evening routine, which just consists of him cleaning up any toys that he took out for the day or outside off of his bedroom floor, taking his bath or his shower for the night, and getting ready basically for us to eat dinner together. And baby girl is napping right now, so I'm taking advantage of that nap so that I don't have to cook dinner feeling completely like overwhelmed, because it's definitely a lot more overwhelming to prepare dinner while she's like crying or trying to crawl inside of the kitchen now that she's moving around, and we just don't have a gate that's large enough to keep her out of the kitchen. We baby proofed, we put a lock on the stove. I still have to lock up the cabinets and things like that, but I still would rather her not be in the kitchen while I'm cooking, because even though she can't open the oven is still hot, and I just want to try and keep her away from that. So cooking when she's either napping or with my husband is best ideal for me, but we have to do what we can with those naps, because she's now at the age where she's only taking 2 naps per day. As a newborn, they sleep like every 2 to 3 hours, but as they get older, right now she's 11 months and she takes 2 naps per day. Normally she takes like a morning nap, and then she takes a late afternoon nap. So that late afternoon nap is typically when I need to prepare dinner, and that morning nap I either need to get a few chores done, maybe a little bit of work done, a little bit of laundry, homeschool my kid, do some work outside, just all the things. That morning nap is just depends on what I have to do for that day, and that evening nap is normally when I begin my evening reset. So I also recently shared a video about my cleaning routine that is a gentle cleaning routine that requires me to only really clean about 15 to 30 minutes per day to keep my home tidy. And then on the weekends I like to do an hour dedicated to something that takes a little bit more than 15 to 30 minutes. So I was cleaning like my kitchen counters and cabinets, washing those down and everything. Last Saturday I do a little bit of decluttering at the end of the week and mop the floors and everything, but during the day I just do like a light sweep. I'll let the robot vacuum the floors, or do like a quick little Swiffer mop, wipe down the counters, put the dishes away. Things like that typically take me 15 to 30 minutes. minutes, my son will tidy up his room every day so that it's not going out of hand. I'll make up the beds in the morning. Just little things, you guys. I often share like little tips and things like that that keep the home tidy while having littles. So I'll link that for you guys as well to check it out. That's typically the stuff I like to do during baby girl's second nap of the day. And that's like kind of like how the flow of our homeschool days go. We wake up in the morning, have like a gentle and slow morning with like coffee, letting the kids crawl around and play. Kids normally miss each other because they sleep in separate rooms and are normally really excited to see each other in the morning. So I let them play while I prepare breakfast, and then we sit down, we eat breakfast, and then we'll either go outside for a little while, or I'll sit down and read my devotions while they play. I say my prayer, and we'll then begin our homeschool day. After we finish up homeschool, baby girl will nap, and while she's taking that late afternoon nap, I'll try to get dinner on. I'll try to begin my evening routine, which is putting dishes away in the dishwasher. The robot vacuum did not have enough charge to finish cleaning the floors, so I was on my own here. It decided to go back to the home base, so I ended up mopping the floor because, again, baby girl is crawling around all the time now, so I have to mop like every day just so that she's not like picking anything up off the floor, putting it in her mouth, or just crawling around like a dirty floor. Once we finish up our evening routine, I then head upstairs. Sometimes my husband will take baby girl while I take my shower, or she'll play with her brother while I take my shower for the day, and then we will have dinner, and then we'll begin like our nighttime routine. So we kind of have like our morning routines, our evening routines, and then we have like our night routines, and then our afternoon is normally, like I said, outdoor play and things like that. So often on here I tell you guys that I'm not really big on like strict timely schedules. Instead, I have just a gentle like daily rhythm or routine, things that we typically do every single day, and even normally sometimes in the exact same order, but not at the exact same time. So while one day I might start homeschool at 10 o'clock in the morning, another day I might not start homeschool until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So again, we just have our gentle daily rhythms and flows the way we like our days to go, but because we don't utilize an alarm clock, because I just think that it's just a lot more peaceful to wake up naturally. That way you are getting the hours of sleep that you need and everything. Obviously, when you have little ones, sometimes, you wake up on their schedule, but like I said, because we don't have that alarm clock, sometimes we wake up at different times in the day. And I know that this can't work for everyone, but as a stay-at-home mom and as a homeschool mom, we just don't have to have an alarm set and wake up at the same time. I know this is different for parents who have to send their children to school in the morning, or working moms and everything. That's just how it works for us. So depending on what time we get up, that is typically what time our daily rhythm or routine is going to start. With summertime now approaching us, which I'm so happy about, our homeschool days are going to be more and more relaxed and unhurried, more time outdoors and everything. I know a lot of people say summer is normally like their busier days with all of the activities, but as a slow living, intentional family, having a ton of activities on the schedule in the summertime is just not fun for us. And so my son has swim every single week. He has swim classes, and we're more than likely gonna put baby girl in swim lessons as well, and it's gonna be the exact same day and time as him. And besides that, a little bit of outdoor play. We schedule in play dates here and there, but we don't have something on our schedule every single day of the summer. That's just not how we choose to live. This kind of just works best for us. But with homeschool, I do have a few books that I'm going to be sharing with you guys very soon. One of them I'm still waiting to come in the mail, so I'm going to share our homeschool summer plans and curriculum plans and everything with you guys. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's also going to be like gentle summer homeschool plans and everything that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, what we're going to be diving into. I'm really excited to share that with you guys, so make sure you stay tuned. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel if you are a homeschool family, so that you can be inspired, and so that we can connect with one another and share our homeschooling journeys with one another together. I'm also always sharing motherhood motivation and homemaking inspiration, days in the life, cleaning videos, home organization, shopping hauls, grocery hauls, and homeschool content like this one, and curriculum reviews. I would absolutely love for you to subscribe and join the family. I post multiple times every single week. If you are enjoying this video, I hope that you would also give it a thumbs up so that this video will be able to reach more viewers. It's really just truly my goal to be able to inspire and help as many women and moms and mothers, wives, homeschool moms, stay-at-home moms, homemakers as I can, and ultimately just share what biblical motherhood and homemaking looks like.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it.
After I began cleaning and doing my evening routine, there was still like a couple more dishes that I needed to have cleaned, which was the dishes that I was using to prepare baby girl's food. So you guys can kind of get a look for how I prepared a baby food. So it looks just like the baby food you might buy for like this stage and age for them at the store or online, except it's homemade, no preservatives, no artificial and unneeded ingredients, and super easy. I literally just boiled it in a pot, put it inside of a shredder, and mashed it or shredded it down for her, and I put some in the bowl for tonight, and the rest of it I'm gonna store it away in a glass container. Glass is obviously a lot better than plastic as far as like freshness goes, and so this is what she'll have for dinner for the next coming days. I can feed it to her like with a fork, or she can use her hands to pick this up and eat it as well. It's a really nice like soft texture for her that she'll be able to eat. Just some chicken and carrots, and now I can finally do those last few dishes. I don't like to have dishes in the sink after I'm done cooking, because normally once I'm done eating, I'm ready to really end my night. I'm exhausted from a full day of running after the children or homeschooling, cooking, cleaning, nap time, and nursing baby girl. You know, breastfeeding really does take a lot of energy from you, and so making sure that like I'm cleaning these dishes like as I go and everything just means that after dinner we just have a few plates to put inside of a dishwasher, and the home will be clean for the night. So those evening routines I feel like are so important and just absolutely ideal. And it just helps me to feel a whole lot better in the morning. I don't have to wake up and before preparing breakfast have a whole kitchen to clean, because that's never fun. And with having a baby, it's just not always the easiest thing to do, to wake up in the morning and clean before cooking. I don't have a whole lot of time because baby girl is fully awake now. She had her full night of sleep and she is busy and on the move. So yeah, it just helps me to have less things to do in the morning. But that is just pretty much what an unhurried homeschool day looks like for us. We get a few lessons done and have a little bit of time for him to do like a hands-on science project, art project, or go outside and play for a little while. And then I get the rest of the things done that I need to get done for our day. And it's just, honestly, you guys, I don't want to make it sound like it's just so simple, because it's not. Obviously, some days are more difficult than others, but it doesn't have to be as hard as we think. There are definitely some things that we can do to just slow down our homeschool days and make it a little bit more relaxing. And so I just wanted to share what one of those unhurried homeschool days looks like, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it and maybe found it to be helpful or motivational. And again, if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy homemaking.